Hey.
We are now recording the November 11th, 2016 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
So we were just talking about the difference between 17 hats and practice ignition. And Mariette, I'm going to let you explain it.
Okay. Well, it's a really good question, and it's a valid question because there are a lot of similarities. So the way I like to explain it, because I've tried to explain it several times to myself and to other colleagues, is that practice ignition is kind of where you would evolve to when you've grown out of 17 hats. So they do a lot of the same things. They're the lead capture. They got a really cool lead capture form that you can put on your website. They have a good way of you to track your basically, progress, money coming in. So they have this real nice kind of really similar to the QuickBooks Online where you see all the money coming in and you can see it from, kind of to-do dates, almost like an AR.
When you say there, you're talking about practice.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so practice ignition. Yeah, let's start with practice ignition. So practice ignition, really the way I see it, it's a really good way to track your money, essentially. And what do they call it, Jan? That money board. It's like that real nice money board where you can see like the money that's coming in based on what you've invoiced, right?
Yeah, the income tracker. Yep.
That's it. Yeah. So it actually looks very similar to the QBO. Does QBO still have the income tracker? I hope they do.
They do.
Okay, I haven't looked at it in a while, but
They call it a money bar or something.
Yeah, like the money bar. So that's the first thing, is that practice ignition is really focusing on us keeping track of the cash flows, money coming in. So that's really cool. Again, they have the really cool lead capture. They have kind of that CRM where you're keeping track of all your clients. Of course, they have the engagement where you start the engagement with them. They're really helping with the value pricing. So creating like value packages where that part I think is really cool, where you can like choose the package and you can have those packages on your website. So all of that stuff is really awesome. And of course, the big kicker is that it's multi-user. Okay, so you can do this over a amount of staff. So you have a staff, obviously, bigger company, so you would have multiple staff in there dealing with all of these things. So that's practice ignition. They don't have two-way syncing, so we were talking about this morning. So let's just say you go through the invoice process, but you don't actually use their payment system, which is Stripe, and you push the invoice to QuickBooks Online. If you actually get paid through another payment system like QB Payments, that doesn't sync back to practice ignition. So, which seems interesting because I guess it would be like an open invoice still on practice ignition. Is that right, Jan? Because that's what it sounded like to me.
You're muted, Jan.
I can't hear you.
Nope, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just goofing around with my mute. Yeah, you're right. It is an open invoice on practice ignition.
Okay, so yeah, that was one thing. So I guess that's where it gets a little tricky because it's not really like you can't really see like the both sides, because let's just say you don't use their payment system, and if you use another payment system, you would love to have that like two-way sync. So that was a little something that I learned today on the call. So that's practice ignition. So lead capture, like CRM, money tracking, value pricing, multi-user. I mean, amazing program. I think I really liked it. I've seen it. I saw the demo in the Oregon Bookkeeper Coffee Meetup. That amazing thing we had with Jan, which I actually put it on the BWAM website on the Slack if you guys want to see it, because it was an awesome recording that Gina and Jan did. So that's practice ignition. Now let's go a little bit backwards. And 17 hats. So 17 hats can do everything I just told you. Okay, except that they could do it for one person. So 17 hats is everything I just mentioned, but for a sole practitioner. So really, that's the easiest way of explaining it. So when you are not a sole practitioner, and obviously 17 hats does a lot more, but we're only talking about the comparison between practice ignition and 17 hats. 17 hats does a lot more than that in regard to their workflow templates and their automated emails and their bookkeeping and the QBO sync. I mean, we don't have to go through that because that's now we're not even talking about practice ignition anymore. So you could take practice ignition and take off the multi-user, and it's very close to what 17 hats does. And the reason why I could say that is because I do all that, but I do it through 17 hats. But it's not multi-user. And you don't have the money bar, I'll tell you that much. You don't really track your money in 17 hats, but you track your money in QuickBooks Online. So I mean, you could track your money with their bookkeeping. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're like really small. But you could do the lead capture, you can do the QBO invoicing, and then pushing it out to 17 Hats invoicing, pushing it to QBO. You can do, I mean, most of the things I told you, you can do it in 17 Hats. But again, it's for one person. And they keep on saying they're going to do multi-user, which I really believe they are, because I believe the CEO, Donovan, he's been good about everything he said. He's awesome. But even when they make it multi-user, it's not going to be Practice Ignition. It's going to be the smaller solopreneur practitioner that's trying to track all those things for themselves, and maybe for like their staff will go in there and help them like keep track of that. But we're not going to take it firm wide. In other words, if I become a firm of 3 or 4, I'm not going to be in 17 Hats anymore. I will be in, another platform. So does that make sense, or was that like?
It makes sense, but to me, 17 Hats did the automated workflow through your emails a lot better. I mean, that's where I think 17 Hats really shines. And is Practice Ignition that good also?
Well, they don't know. Practice Ignition doesn't take it after the engagement. So the way 17, because I've asked them, so way 17 Hats and Practice Ignition, where they kind of stop, is that Practice Ignition is that lead, the value pricing, the putting it on your website, the possible payment from your invoicing, but they don't take it like through the whole engagement. They stop there. And so 17 Hats takes you from the beginning of your engagement through all of your engagement to the end of your engagement. So that's where 17 Hats and Practice Ignition are different. So I know I asked them, like, can you take it all the way through? And I'll have to re-listen to the Oregon webinar, but I think he said they don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't use, let's just take out the payments for a second. If you take out the payments, then it is all the way through. Then you receive the payments, in QuickBooks or whatever, or in Practice Ignition, and it syncs to QuickBooks and closes it out. And then you close it out in Practice Ignition, and you close it out in QuickBooks. And then again, takes it all the way through to a closed invoice. So from a proposal all the way through, if you aren't using the payments. I think the stop comes when you're using their payments module or whatever it is that they're using now, Stripe or Square or whatever it is. But I think you can get that all the way through. I just don't think it goes into the, did you say into the email? It just
no. What I mean is like no. It closes the cycle from the engagement and the payment. But what 17 Hats lets you do, it lets you take a customer relationship all the way through everything you do with them. Like, for instance, for my tax preparation, I don't just invoice through 17 Hats. All my emails back and forth, all my pending items, all my documents, all my links that say upload your documents to my secure portal, all that is in 17 Hats. It's not just a lead capture or an accounts receivable system. It's literally my practice management and my product management all in one.
The workflow, it automates the workflow, I think, a lot better.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And that's what I think of 17 Hats as. I think of Practice Ignition as just a proposal engagement letter product, right? Just the beginning piece of it.
Exactly. And it's a really good beginning piece. And I think that you need to transition into it when you get too big for 17 Hats. Like, that's why I really liked learning about it at Xero, and then in your bookkeeping session, and then today. And I actually, done a little research on my own, is because I feel that there will be a point, especially for accountants and tax practitioners, that 17 Hats isn't going to work for you anymore. And I think Practice Ignition is a good way to transition, because they have a lot of similarities actually, which I really like. So it's not like you have to learn something totally new. They've got those same foundations, but I just think that they're totally for a different market. One's for sole practitioner, and the other one's for like a bigger accounting tax firm. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that you need to find, though, a CRM that marries up. And I think that's where I see the downfall of Practice Ignition, is that they don't link or they don't sync right now to any CRMs, right? So, I mean, they go into QuickBooks. No, and if we're going to get better in the future, which is like next 3 months, we need to have that integration between applications. It doesn't really necessarily need to be in QuickBooks or Xero or whatever it is, but it needs to be in that, application to application.
Can you use like Zapier to create some sort of links?
No.
Not that I know of. No. Mm-mm. I was just going to say, wouldn't it be amazing if like Smartsheet linked with like 17?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh Lord. We would be like,
We would lose Mariette forever.
I would never have to join a call. No, I'm just kidding. I will always be here no matter what. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But these programs, especially when you meet them, and because I've been working more with the smaller like solopreneur programs, like 17 Hats and QuickBooks Self-Employed. I don't even ask those kind of things yet because I just don't think it's even fair. That's not where they're going. And like Smartsheets and 17 Hats, even though like I think it would be a gorgeous marriage, I don't think it's fair to ask them to do that yet. So like, but I think it's amazing, but I don't even bother asking them.
How would you integrate 17 Hats? What would be the links between 17 Hats and Smartsheet? Or would you see the applications?
It would be the notices that you would.
Yeah, it would be the notices. And for me, because I have so many web forms that come in, they come in through Smartsheet, right? And it's a spreadsheet, so I accumulate data there and everything. Hi, my buddy wants to join me.
Yeah.
Hey, Snuffy.
Yeah. And so from there, I think if it went out and then went into the process without me touching it, right? So if then it went in and said, okay, I want to do this invoice, or I come in, and Seth pretty much has that, but he uses a 17 Hats web form, comes in and then goes in. I don't want to use that because I already have all these smart sheets with data that's accumulating on them, right?
Got it. Well, I'm thinking more and more that I used to say I am the reconciliation queen. Now I'm saying I'm the queen of processes. So I think processes are becoming bigger and bigger, making them more streamlined, and processes can be different for everybody. Even if you're in the same industry, even if like one accountant to another accountant, one bookkeeper to another bookkeeper, what works for you may not necessarily work for someone else. So a tool like 17 Hats may be perfect for one person, and Practice Ignition may be perfect for the other.
I do have a question on the 17 Hats conversation. So I'm using it. I love the workflows. My question is, because it is a single user, can you have multiple sign-ins on the one user, simultaneous sign-ins?
No, but I will tell you, Brandon, I can almost sell you with guarantee, don't spend too much time on the single user. It's going to happen. Like that is literally their top priority.
They told me at QuickBooks Connect, hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what Gigi told me.
I agree with Joanne. Yeah, don't spend too much time on it. Now, I will tell you, Brandon,
I love the product, so.
No, well, I will tell you, Brandon, that one thing and if you guys have any wish lists, then Slack me on 17 Hats because I'm meeting with them in a couple weeks. So Slack me anything you wish would happen, and let's see.
I'll throw you a smart sheet up there.
Yeah. But you know what? But like Gina said, you need to give me very big, like give me an example on.
Oh, I will.
Like real examples, yeah. But no, what I was gonna say is what I wish, Brandon, would happen is that the multi-user is done, but I would love to have like how we have it like in kind of Slack or even like Google users, where we could be in one user and then just drop down into all our other users. Because I think, Joanne, I'm not sure if you do this like I do, where I actually have a user for my taxes and then I have a user for my accounting, because I don't want to have my two practices in the same 17 Hats user.
Yeah, so I still have mine all in the same, but yeah, I know what you mean. That would be nice to be able to toggle between the different profiles. Yeah.
Oh, would love to be able to, that's what I should say. You know what, I'm going to write that down right now. Toggle between profiles. That's the right way to say it. That's on my wish list.
The one thing that I would like, the only thing that I would like to get right now out of 17 Hats is I think that they should work on some major integrations that are, I think that are basic, that most of these type of things do, which is once you have a contact added in, that it automatically gets pushes to either MailChimp or Aweber or, someplace where you can collect your information. So what I do now, what I've been doing is I've been doing it very similar to what Seth does with Nimble. I've been embracing Nimble, and as soon as I have somebody in my 17 hats as a lead, I make sure that I have them added into my Nimble with the little browser, the little internet Chrome extension that you can put in that will find their information, and then I can add notes inside my Nimble.
Yeah, I think I would love, just throwing it out there, if we could have a CRM session one of these days, Gina, because I want to learn about Nimble and other ones you guys are using. That's something I really haven't tackled yet, but I know Seth is a big Nimble guy, and then he did those 5 for 25, that one cool thing he did where he did like 25, what is it, 5 apps for $25 or something, and one was on Nimble.
Right.
Yeah, so I would love to learn about how you use that, Joanne, because I've been wanting to look into that.
It's a lot of fun.
I love the name. I love the name, actually.
Yeah.
So anyways, and really quickly for you Slack professionals, Jan, I think you're probably, I don't know who else is really good. I'm not that good in there yet. But can you actually, in a channel, this is off topic, but can you in a channel create like a form where people, like I wanted to create like wish lists and then people can add to it, or does it always have to be a comment only?
It actually is a link and then it goes out. I mean, you can do a comment, but I've never seen a form.
Could you do a Smartsheet form and try it?
Oh, you mean put in 17 in the Slack, we have a Smartsheet form, and then have people click on that link to go to the form?
You just need a form to something, a Google form or a Smartsheet form, or.
Okay, you know what? That's a good idea. But can I be really honest with you guys about something that I'm very embarrassed about?
Sure.
I don't know how to create forms. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh wow! All right.
I know.
In Smartsheets, you can't.
No, I know. I'm so embarrassed. Please, can we take the recording off? Edit this, Gina.
We'll talk after.
That's the only thing you don't know, Mariette.
No, seriously. I'm so embarrassed. I was considering not mentioning it to you guys, but hopefully you guys
don't know what you don't know. No, right, Misha?
Oh my God.
You can do it in Google.
You don't know what you don't know until you know what you know.
Exactly.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna have to, after this, maybe we should just do like 20 minutes of how to create forms.
It's easy. I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm embarrassed.
Don't be. That's what we're here for.
Go ahead. Sarah's joined us. Hi. And Christy has joined us.
Hi, Christy.
I saw that you do have sound. Christy, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I'm in Seattle.
And you have a great last name.
Thank you.
Monahan.
I married into it.
Are you part of Shelley? Are you part of Shelley's group?
What's that?
Are you part of Shelley's group?
Yes, I am. So
Yeah,
I'm actually one of her co-facilitators. So.
Okay, I've known her for about 6-7 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's fantastic. But yeah, she's one of the biggest reasons why I'm at where I'm at today. So.
Well, that's an awesome endorsement.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you on December 9th. Isn't that when they have the...
Oh, you will see me.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay.
So you're doing bookkeeping?
I do bookkeeping, payroll, and process implementation. So I'm completely 100% in the cloud. Some people would say I'm lazy. I say I'm efficient. So I do a lot of streamlining workflows, and few folks have wanted to see some of the ways I do it for myself. And so I'm kind of starting to branch out a little bit and share those practices with others, and hopefully can make everybody's life a little bit easier. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's very nice to meet you. Glad you could join us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So good to see you, Christy.
Good to see you too, Jen. I saw you earlier today, but you didn't see me. I was in your webinar.
Was that webinar recorded? One with Seth and...
Yeah, it's recorded, and everybody who signed up gets a copy within 24 hours. If I remember, upload it, and then I can send it out. I'm the worst at this. You know, you got this. I'm over here. I'm like, what? I push.
So if I were to get that $38 membership for the Pro Advisor, would I get the recordings and that kind of stuff, or?
If you sign up for our webinars, you get all of the recordings. So I
Okay.
didn't hear what you said about the Pro Advisor.
Well, don't you get like a discount or like half off for the?
Mhm. Yeah, 50% off.
And so that comes with the membership.
It does.
Okay.
I joined the webinar. I knew I only had like 10 minutes, and then I kept you running because I had to do a demo with the client on another piece of software. And then he was going to do a hangout, and I'm like, how do I mute you so that I don't leave the webinar? And anyway, so he did something called, I wrote it down.
Oh, it'd be so
Clear
interesting.
Slide. Clear
You
Slide?
did what?
He did something called Clear Slide. So actually, I just went to a webinar, and we just stayed on the phone because I told him what was going on. But I wanted to get the recording. I knew I couldn't get the recording unless I joined. So
Good.
big day. What?
Big day for recordings. So let's skip. We lost Adam. Adam was here, and he was going to talk about profit first. And speaking engagements, and he and Joanne actually teach at colleges. Do you want to speak a little bit about that, Joanne?
Sure.
What's happening, and what are you teaching, and where?
So well, in my area, I have a local community college that is connected. Our Small Business Development Center is connected to it. And they offer once a month a business class that's called Fast Track to Business. And it has mainly brand new business owners that are new to the world of just setting up a business in general. Some of them are coming from leaving the corporate world. Some of them are, most of them are transitioning, I should say, from corporate world to owning their own business. So they put on this, it lasts over 2 weeks, and they have, I think, it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays over 2 weeks. So it's basically 4 different full day sessions. And in between teaching these people about forecasting and market analysis and the basic stuff that you need to have put together for a business, they also bring in experts that talk about a specific topic for, usually it's an hour time slot. They have, like a lawyer will come in and talk about the different types of entities. They have an insurance person that comes in and talks about insurance. They have, a whole bunch of different professionals that come in. And right after I started my business, they asked me to come in and talk about the importance of having an accounting system in place, a functional accounting system in place. So they actually would have me speak in addition to the CPA that was there talking about tax stuff. So I kind of brought a more down to earth level of, this is what you need. And I would talk about the QuickBooks products and all that kind of fun stuff. And it really, over the past 8 years, have given me a lot of leads. Some of my biggest clients that I have today came from originally going through that class and having them meet me through that class. And what I found was interesting, and the staff there even thought it was interesting too, is that after seeing all the professionals speak about what they were going to focus on, most of the new business owners felt the need to connect with me first before they even talked to the CPA. So it was kind of like I actually got more leads and more clients than the CPA, because in addition to doing the accounting and bookkeeping, I also would do the tax stuff. So I was kind of helping them getting from point A to point B. So, and what this Small Business Development Center does, and I don't know if it's different in different states, all the different states have different programs and stuff, but there's a program that New York State puts on, and it's called the Self-Employment Assistance Program. So if somebody loses their job and they meet a certain criteria, they can take part of this program that will allow them to continue to receive unemployment without actually having to go through all the job searching and stuff like that, as long as they're building a business and looking to improve creating business and creating jobs inside of New York State. So because they did that, they wanted to put down a lot of benchmarks. And one of the benchmarks was they made these people in this program attend this class that was put on by the Small Business Development Center. So they got funding from New York State to put on this at the college. I know there are some other states that do this, and there are other small business development centers that do this, but it's a great lead. It's a great opportunity if you haven't looked into it yet to reach out to your local community colleges or universities and say, do you have a course? It's basically like a mini course, because it's not a full session by any means, but they do offer it once a month. And because I've had such a great rapport with all of the, what do they call them, advisors that are there, they actually have allowed me to transition out of doing the bookkeeping talk, and now I do my social media marketing talk for them. And I actually allowed them to give my bookkeeping accounting talk to Deb Bolello, who is actually also, I think, Brandon, I think she's inside of your ASG group. She's a profit first professional. So she now has the opportunity to get those leads to talk about bookkeeping and accounting in addition to her profit first. And now I'm getting all the leads for the social media marketing of the new businesses. So it's been a really great lead generator for only an hour a month.
That is awesome, Joanne. I wish more states would do it. I know Pennsylvania is not one of them. So, Brandon, now that you seem to be settled, we're going to change subjects. You were asking about an answering service being different than an answering machine. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, if I'm busy and I need to transfer my calls, I want somebody live to answer my calls. I don't want them to go to voicemail. And then I can retrieve those messages, or they can email them or text them to me. That's right, Mariette. I'm at Starbucks, so.
Awesome.
Brandon,
Yes.
just forward your calls to me. I'll take care of that for you.
There you go. How much you willing to pay?
How much you willing to pay? That's the question.
Let's make a deal.
We'll work something out.
So I want to ask, why do you want an answering service and not use a VA?
Oh, I'm not against a VA. I just want.
You just want a human.
You just want a live person, basically. And they don't have to necessarily, all they're doing is taking those calls and routing them to you and sorting them and organizing them and basically doing an assessment, so you know you don't drop anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, I just don't want. I want somebody when they call to talk to somebody, and then nothing to get through the cracks. If it's an urgent call, they need to call me. They can call me, and I can call them right back. If it's not urgent, I get a lot of junk calls, and I can not call those back, or I can wait. But that's what I'm looking for.
I think Misha has the great speaking voice for it.
Hello, you've reached Brandon. He's not available at this time.
Wow, they're gonna want to talk to you all day. They're gonna make.
Oh, get them off the phone, man.
You're gonna get expensive, Misha. I don't know.
Misha,
I told you.
Misha, I think you just branched out right there. I think you just.
I know, right? That passive income, I'm telling you, you got to do it.
That's right.
I'm going up on my prices if I hire you.
Well, I was going to say, Brandon, I'll let you guys know a little bit more in a couple weeks, but 17 Hats, they came up with that 17 Hats Ally, which at first...
I watched the video on that.
Yeah, just so you know, they are changing their pricing on that, because it was
That's
the
good.
bookkeeper, the VA, and, yeah, exactly. It was the bookkeeper, the VA, and somebody else. I forgot, like 3 people, your account manager or something. They figured out that was kind of, it's okay, but for the accountants and other professionals that already have a bookkeeper or already have that kind of system in place, you really just need what you mentioned. Someone to answer the call and kind of be your VA only. And so they're going to create another pricing package, which is going to take out the bookkeeper, kind of limit a little bit the account manager, because if you're capable of creating your workflows and all that, it's really just going to be the answering service, which I think is a really good idea, because I'm even considering it for my company. So, because I struggle with that, the answering the calls, answering the leads, responding quickly within 24 hours. So yeah, that they are going to update their package to have kind of a more of a, they call it the Ally Lite, which is going to be like a lighter package, which I'm really interested in learning more about. So just so you know, that is coming out.
I need to be lighter. I need to stay away from Starbucks.
Especially those pumpkin or whatever.
Oh my goodness, they are good, aren't they?
Ooh, that's a whole meal right there.
Look,
Jan, you changed.
I know.
How often are you?
I had the peppermint today. That was a must-have today.
I thought you just left the dog in front of the camera somewhere.
No, he's a ham. Snuffle up again.
That's funny.
Yeah, he likes touching.
Oh, he's totally hanging out. He's like, hey, it's Friday. We're hanging out.
We're chill.
So, Brandon, can we talk a little bit about Zift?
Sure. I'm game.
Joanne had a question for Brandon.
That's all right. It's not important.
I'm sorry. Let's go with Joanne's question. I'm sorry.
No, I just was continuing on that conversation that when he mentioned that in the pre-recording, I thought to myself, how often does my phone ring? And my phone doesn't ring at all, but I still get a ton of leads. Like my phone's because usually people are connecting with me online and they're either emailing me or filling out a form or whatever. And, the initial conversations are happening through email or set up a Zoom meeting. So it's actually the people that call me are the people that I don't want to talk to. So
you want them
I let them go to voicemail.
So yeah, I'm with you, Joanne. I don't put my telephone number out in advertisements to begin with. I want people to contact me via email. I want to vet them first before I spend a whole lot of time.
Yep.
But I do give my clients the phone number, and I do let them know. Now it happens less and less. If I am out with the client, my attention is totally on that client.
Yeah.
And
I think that's important because when I first start working with somebody, one of the things, especially my accounting clients, one of the things that I impress on them is I say, if you call me and I don't answer, it's because I'm with another client because I don't, and I say, if you want something specifically answered, the best thing to do is to type your question in an email.
Absolutely.
Because how many times do you get the phone call that says, hey, Mariette, can you please call me?
You have no idea.
Just so you know, Joanne, I don't even answer those calls.
I know.
got like 4 of them this week. Hey, this is Andy. Call me. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, what?
If you can't articulate exactly what your question is so that I can pull your file out and maybe have an answer for you to make the most of my time, I just, Honey Badger just doesn't have time for that.
I totally agree with you. No, the worst is when you get like that 5-minute, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I was thinking so-and-so, and you're just like, did you just have like a full interview with me? I don't even know you. And just so you know, you spent 5 minutes and I'm deleting that voicemail. I feel so bad, but I just said, don't do that. Don't.
Is that what you did to me the other day, Mariette? When I
I was getting over a very tough day.
I'm just teasing. It was a long day.
So
I need to call Mariette.
That was funny. Go ahead. Sorry, Misha. Go ahead.
Brandon, what is your volume? And would it make sense to train your people, in the right way? You leave a message on your machine that says, if you are a potential client, you need to fill out a blah, blah, blah. Go to my website, click the form, submit it, give me the details of what you want, and then I'll review that and be in touch.
Yeah, and, I get that. And it depends on if it's a call for my practice or if it's a call for software, somebody looking to talk. But it really depends on the call. It could be only 5 calls a day, or it could be 12, and depending on the call, it could take 10 minutes, it could take an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that just totally screws up my day if I've got a schedule going on. But it doesn't make it easy without being rude to say, no, hey, I took the call, but I can't really talk. So but I also don't want to let any sales slip through the cracks. So
yeah,
Right.
well, because a lot of what Brandon does too, though, is not necessarily, he does a lot
What we
of
do.
software and installs and stuff,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he has to answer a lot of more,
And if
probably
a software
question.
is not working, it is an emergency.
especially a POS client. If POS client goes down, their front end goes down, it's an emergency to them. So, they want to talk to somebody.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Now I do take phone calls. I do tell clients that are brand new and that I've just given training to. Usually the next day or the following day, I will take several phone calls for them. And I do tell them that, I realize that I charge a lot for what I do, but part of what you get is me available to answer your questions. I will answer them now free for 15 minutes. If it takes longer than that, it's a new session. So I kind of limit it too.
Right.
But that's because I offer services and not hardware. So.
Well, typically, unless it's a front end system, and I'm doing less support and for POS than I ever have been, but just because the kind of the nature of our practice has changed a little bit, I still love point of sale, just because it encompasses all of everything that we do. Because it goes into QuickBooks Financial, it's payroll, it's merchant service, it's everything. And so that by its very nature, I like it as far as all the products we offer. But at the same time, the way that our practice is evolving into ASG and what we're doing now, I want to spend my time supporting you guys as everybody that's on our team, as well as staying hands-on with all the products that we're selling and servicing. So I don't know.
And I will say too, I found myself where I'll need like that service more during tax season than off season, kind of for me, because I definitely can handle, and I actually get a VA specifically during tax season in addition to his tax staff, because there would be no way, like, on average I get maybe 2 calls a day, maybe 3, and during a week, let's just say 10, maybe like 6 to 10. So I get pretty decent amount of calls, but during tax season, I get like 20 a day. And so there would be no way that I can get any work done, and then let's say 3/4 of those, I don't want those clients. So I'm not trying to spend time on the phone with them, but like Brandon says, I've gotten bad Yelp reviews because I don't answer my call during tax season, because they expect you to answer the call and at least acknowledge their call, So it's just a really quick vetting process, like that VA or that person you're thinking of, just vets them right away. They'll say, Mariette's in the cloud. Mariette, expects everything to be sent to her electronically. And then right away they're like, we're not interested. Perfect. But now they can't say that I didn't answer their call.
Right.
That simple. But I don't want to pick up that phone call to tell them that I'm in the cloud and that I'm, I don't want, it's a waste of my time because they didn't look at my website. But, a lot of my clients are sole practitioners and they don't look at websites.
And then they want to discuss it. Why are you in the cloud? I don't want to discuss it. Email me.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I don't have to explain to you. I need to do the work I got to do.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes perfect sense, and it sometimes even makes sense seasonal versus all year. And it just depends on what you're doing.
Okay. Jan must have just gotten a call. We lost her. Okay, so Zift. Zift is we'll call it marketing for the IRPs.
Well, it's actually, all of our IRP team has it. If you're an IRP with Intuit, you've got access to it. It's actually available for the general public, but Intuit pays for it for us. So, yes, it is for us and anybody else that wants to pay for it.
Well, if you want to put out posts and blogs to Facebook, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, and who else? There's something else they attack.
What's that?
There's another social media that they send to.
The LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook.
Twitter.
Yep.
Are they on Instagram?
I don't think they are yet.
Okay. They are very interesting, and I've gotten a lot more Twitter followers
I have too.
using the Zift. Joanne has a different take on that. She thinks we should brand it before we just send out or just send out from Intuit, that we should send it out from ourselves.
I agree. Now, so what that's really good for is not, I'm all about the branding. As a matter of fact, I just hired a college student fresh out of graphic design school. But, and he's working on branding a lot of the white papers, the case studies that we have available from Intuit's side, from ChannelBridge. That way they can contact us directly. All of our information will be right there at the top of the information. So we can take that and we can upload it to Zift on our own. But just to have a presence out there, I will still let Intuit send out Twitters and Facebook posts on my behalf just to have content out there. But yeah, I agree with Joanne. Our stuff needs to be branded for your practice or for our team or both. But I'll take both.
I'm enjoying the amount of content that it's putting out for me that I don't have to take my time to do.
Yes.
But I do have to go on and look and make sure that I approve of all the things that they're sending out. So I'm now able to do that once a week. I'll pick a day a week and I'll look at all the stuff that they have scheduled to go out. So it's working for me. I have hopes that I can at some point brand at least some of it.
Right.
But right now they're doing what I don't have time to do.
Well, I'm in the process for all of our team putting together a package of all those resources that we have available, making it easier to brand, where all you have to do is stick your name, your company name, and information at the top. And then it'll also have Accounting Success Group on one side, but they will have your information to call you directly. So I'll have that easily available for you to upload into either Hootsuite or Zift and to go from there.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Okay. So what else do we want to talk about?
Before we move on, is it possible to get like one of you guys, like I'm so behind on the Zift and trying to just get stuff up. Could I just get a session with one of you guys to walk me through getting it set up for me? I know, Brandon, you've already spent time, so you're out, X out. I want somebody else.
I need to start from scratch.
Brandon?
What's that?
Did you record something?
He did, and I have it, but I'm struggling like getting like the link for just a bunch of questions. I don't want to go into it here, but just, you know, maybe just asking somebody who's already done it, like maybe Eugenia or somebody else who's already got it, that I can ask questions so that I can see if it's just user error or do I just need to rethink the way I'm doing some things.
But I don't mind spending some more time with you. That's what I do. So yeah, just let me know when you're free. We'll do it.
I'll call your virtual assistant.
Call Misha.
I'll get you on the calendar, Jan. No
I came in late. What's the product we're talking about?
Zift.
It's Zift 123.
What is it?
It is basically a marketing system that uses either email and all the social media platforms to publish content. It's very similar to Hootsuite or something like that, but we use it. Our team uses it with Intuit. They've got automated content that goes out on our behalf. But that's what it is.
ZIF 123.
ZIFT 123.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Are you an IRP, Deb?
No.
Okay.
You need to be.
We need to fix that. We need to fix that, Deb.
Why?
Because it's for free.
Any of your clients buy Intuit products?
Well, I just call up an IRP and ask them to buy it from them.
Well, why don't you do it and then you can get a commission off the
But don't you have to meet quotas? I mean,
No.
Not if you join.
Not if you join Brandon's team.
Because we're a team.
We're all in the team. Just join our team.
So you can be
Join our team. Join our team.
I want to understand the joining the team. Can we have a session one day on how to join the team? I don't know why that confuses
whose
me.
team am I joining?
Mariette, I'll send you a link.
No, Joanne, can't you do one of those famous things you do during tax season when you're so annoyed at me and you make me a video?
I'll make you a video, Mariette. You go to Brandon's 17 Hats form and you fill it out and you say that you heard about it from Joanne.
That's it?
Yep, that's all you got to do.
And then Deb, you pick
Deb, you go and you go to Brandon's form and then you say you heard it from me.
Yeah, you can say anything.
Misha, can you do your first position? Today is your first job. Can you put the link to Brandon's form in the chat and then I can click on it?
I'm joining Amway.
I feel like I just joined up with Mary Kay.
I'm serious. Let's just make it simple. Come on, it's Friday. Where is the link?
Wait a minute. Let's put it in a Google Sheet that will go to Smart Sheet that will go to Slack.
Let's have a seminar.
Let's have a webinar on how to put the link in the chat. My God. Okay, we're delirious. No, seriously though, I was being serious. Can you put the link in there? I don't want to know how to do it.
Deborah, do you have anybody using payments, like using credit cards and things like that?
One.
Okay. Do you have anybody on Enterprise? Probably not. You're
Me.
on Clat.
I just actually switched to QB. I switched my enterprise file to QBO.
Okay. Because if you have it, if you become the IRP on account for anybody who owns Enterprise, every time they upgrade, you get a commission.
Mariette, check Facebook.
Facebook, I thought we were in a Zoom.
Hold on.
See that?
I'll go get it. I'll go get it.
Smart Sheet. If it was in Smart Sheet, we'd all have access to it. See?
Mariette, go to Facebook.
I'm there already. I'm messing with you. I'm there already.
Joanne, you're making it so hard.
Oh my God, I needed this laugh. I haven't laughed this hard all week.
That's what
I don't market myself or my team well enough, or everybody would know what my link is.
No, the funny thing is Brandon's all quiet.
Brandon has his Salesforce working for him. He knows how to work it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Brandon's like, you girls keep working. I'll keep hanging out at Starbucks.
Let me just drink my
Starbucks.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
No, but to be honest, I'm not an IRP either.
Well, let's get you a link too.
We're the best team. We're 100
I don't know anything about it. No one's ever taken the time to thoroughly explain it to me, so I don't do things that I don't understand.
All right,
Okay,
what's your
I'm
question?
totally with you, Christy. I'm totally with you.
I just, I'm still fairly new at this. So I don't know what it's about. I know that sometimes there's quotas, but sometimes there's not. I don't know what the benefit of being on a team is versus being on my own. I don't know anything about
it. Here's the deal. Here's the quick explanation. I don't want to take over Gina's hangout. So you've got two different types of IRPs. You have you have a premier IRP, and then you have an authorized IRP. A premier IRP has to meet a $30,000 per year quota. I'm already doing that. So by joining my team, you don't have to meet a quota because I'm already doing that.
Yay!
And in the beginning, we were helping you meet that quota.
Yes.
Very beginning. But
yes,
now
I was already meeting the quota, but
right?
you guys have. So our team over the past year grew 176%. So that was huge. So what you guys get by joining my team is all the benefits of being a premier IRP without the sales quota. You also get better discounts on the product, on QuickBooks, on Enterprise, on Revel, things like that. So, and then what we do is we split the commission 75-25. So on a Enterprise sale, we get 28%. So on that split, bottom line is y'all get 21% of the sale of the total enterprise price. So,
So this is what I want to know, Brandon. Just keep it simple. So I'm in your group, okay? Because I just all about keeping it simple. My client calls me and they're going to be calling me like crazy. I need to set them up on QBO. What do I do?
So you log into QuickBase and then you fill out the form and they get 35% off, and you get a $100 commission. And well, recently they marked it up to 150, but that was just so you get a commission for that. So you get $75 for signing them up, and your customer gets 35% off for the life of the product.
So what do
For the
they? So I
life.
log into QuickBase. I do that. Do they get a link that says now this is where your
Yep.
QBO file
Yep.
is?
Yep.
Got it. Okay. All right. So I'm
Oh, Joanne knows
basically.
all about it. She sells the crap out of some QBO.
And there's no video on it. You don't have a little private video for your group that just tells us how to do that in like 1 minute.
Not yet, Mariette.
Once you get
gosh.
sucked into the group, he'll show you how to do it. One of
Once
us.
you're in, you get the secrets. We can't.
So
be
how do you
doing all
get in?
this
I
stuff
just
now.
filled it out. How do I get in? I just filled it out.
Then just
That's it.
wait.
So I have one
He's
more
at
question.
Starbucks. You gotta let him get back to the office.
But you're supposed to be working for him. Can I call you, Misha? Can I call you, Misha? Okay, I have one more.
She's hired. You gotta have Misha. She's doing an excellent job for you.
Brandon,
But
I have a
seriously,
question.
though, when it comes to his group, like how long have I been in your group, Brandon? Since April?
Yeah, somewhere around April.
I've been in his group since April, and just to give you guys an idea, being an IRP in here has totally increased my profit margins. Let's just put it that way. It's a game changer. If it's a product you're already selling to your client, why not offer them the ability to have 35% off for the life of the product, and not just the 50% off for 6 months that's on the Intuit website. There is so many ways that you can sell having them sign up through you that it's ridiculous.
It really is a win-win situation. I don't look at myself as selling software. I look at it as a convenience for my client.
Yeah.
So, yeah, while I'm doing what I'm doing, a lot of times I'm upgrading. Like, that's what I did. I have a client that, every 2 years they buy new software. So I said, I actually told them, I gave them the choice. You can go get it yourself, or I can get it for you before our appointment. And they said, well, why don't you get it? And I'm offering them a discount in addition. So it's kind of a win-win.
How do y'all charge your clients? Like, of course, I have all nonprofits. It's sort of job security for me. I'll just give it to them at my cost.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't even pay for it.
Right in, they get billed themselves.
Yeah, you enter in the QBase the client's credit card, and you never see a bill ever.
That's what I'm saying. Then they're getting your cost. Right? That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I give them my cost.
You don't mark them up.
Desktop is different, though. Desktop, you can charge whatever you want.
Desktop and point of sale are different. You get wholesale cost, which is anywhere from 35 to 40% margin, and you charge as much as or a little as you want.
Yeah.
Look at Brandon's driving home as fast as he can to process your contract, Mariette.
What was your question, Christy?
What's that?
Christy had a question. What was your question, Christy?
Okay. So one question is, right now I have all of my clients on my wholesale. I do flat fee. I just pay for it, and then my fee covers what I am charging. So, I guess I don't understand.
It depends on your business model. Then that.
Yeah, wholesale and IRP are two totally different.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're almost competitors with wholesale billing with QBO. Now I'm working on that to figure out because I feel like in a lot of ways we all compete with Intuit because they've got the market online, but so where we sell QBO, they've got the wholesale billing. So you may or may not want to use the QBO part, but if you've got clients on desktop or any of that, or they need merchant service, then you can sign them up for that and get a residual on that. So there's some parts of the program that you may take and some that you may leave. You don't have to, just because you're doing wholesale billing doesn't mean that you can't join the team and use the other products or services and get paid off of those.
Okay.
Christy, sorry, Gina. Christy, the other benefit is that you have all of us. And we are varied and vast in knowledge, in experience, in whatever. And it's a support network.
Okay.
Well,
So
do
then the
you-
other question is, if I say I sell someone enterprise, now, I'm not comfortable setting someone up with enterprise. I can sell it, but
Can you call Brandon and he set it up, help you set it up, or help
Yeah.
him
Okay.
set it up?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
hell,
We'll
what
get
we have.
somebody in that area
We have
to.
people in the group. We have Yvette, who's not here today, but she's like our Revel expert.
Mhm.
She's certified in Revel, so we have her that's available for that. So there's a lot of people in the group that have specific expertise that can be able to help you out. You know what I mean, with those kind of things.
Mhm.
I think for me the main thing, well, what's helped me a ton is because of the niche group that I'm working with right now. There's a lot of people that I'm selling to, and you can be doing this on your website, by the way, where you can attract traffic and have somebody sign up for QBO and never see them again, but you got that commission. And that's called passive income that you can be making while you're sleeping and not having to do a thing. So that's something that we should all be looking to do on our websites, is adding some type of that passive income element to be able to generate those little profits here and there.
In addition to that, you also have direct access to somebody at Intuit. We've got a Gina, the other Gina, we've got direct access to her. If we have questions or we need support, I've had problems before. If I can't reach my diamond level support or I keep getting the runaround, it doesn't happen very often. They've got because they're over at Intuit, we've got additional channels that we can use. We've also got payroll, and we've got a direct rep. So if we need somebody to discuss payroll, John's at our beck and call. If we've got a question, he's there for us. Same thing with payments and enterprise.
Christy, when your clients who are on wholesale need payments and services like that, do they pay for those, or do you still roll those in your fee?
Well, I mean, it's coming out of their accounts. I just show them how to set it up.
Right. Well, you can get commission off of payments.
Oh, well, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's free money every month. So all they got to do is process credit cards, and you get it.
And most of my clients do. So, I mean, I work with a lot of nonprofits too, Sarah, but I work with a lot of really small ones that are like preschools, choirs. They have monthly tuition or registration, and they're all using payments for that.
Now, Brandon, what do you do if a client's already set up on this service? Is there a way to get on? Is it too late? And it's only future clients, or?
Generally too late. If they have a change in business entity or business structure, then you can use that opportunity. If it's an enterprise client, a lot of times when I go in, I had a client that was set up on a 10-user platinum enterprise, and it was just too much for them.
I had one too.
So I resold it. I got the commission for it, and then when I did that, now that was not a payments thing. So if they're using payments, then generally without some kind of business structure change or ownership change, then you're kind of out of luck on that. So,
but think ahead.
Okay.
Christy, I've added the link in the chat.
Oh, I already signed
to check it out. Well, as I posted, I just posted it. I said, thank you. Your request is being processed. We will be in touch in the next day.
Just doesn't get better than that, Brandon.
I've got the laptop back here. I'm going home, okay?
Can you guys see the picture I put in the chat?
Yep.
I see IMG something.
We'll click on
I have
it.
to download it.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
It's safe. It's not
Okay.
pornographic.
Thank you.
Nice.
That's
Is it suitable for work?
it's suitable. That's the team.
Okay.
Well, that's not everybody. Just so
Well,
you.
that's the team. That's the team that was at IRP Connect.
Oh, okay.
I know. I was so bummed.
Yeah, anybody.
I live in Massachusetts, and they don't like the East Coast. Just so you know.
I live in New York, and they love East Coast.
Whatever.
can't find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Brandon's daughter is right beside her. She's in the business now.
Yep.
Too. I see her more and more.
She's a rock
You're
star.
with you to QuickBooks Connect, and you're taking her now to different places that you're.
Well, she is QBO certified. I think she's the youngest QBO certified, or at least that's what Simon is Gina's boss. So Simon recognized her from the last Scaling New Heights conference we went to. They always have an IRP get together at most of these conferences. So, but yeah, she's going to a lot of the conferences. She does a lot of the back end work. When you guys enter orders, it's got to go. We put it in 17 hats, and then we use that to match up and do a double check and triple check to make sure that all of you guys get your commissions and they're right. So
Now, if we sign up with you, can we go to the IRP party?
absolutely,
Yeah.
you get all the same IRP gifts.
Deb's in just for the party.
We actually got which night was it? Was it Wednesday night that we had the dinner with the Intel people?
Yes, it was Wednesday night after the reception.
After the reception, we went out to the IRP group took us to dinner at a nice place. It was nice.
Can I change the subject real quick and see if I can pick Dennis's brain? We only have like 2 minutes.
Dennis,
Dennis, are you there?
Before you didn't someone say they had a question?
What's the question?
Oh, wait, somebody else had a question. Did somebody else have a question?
Well, I do. Just don't let me forget.
Well, what is it? Say it.
Real quick?
Yeah.
Anybody understand some of the pricing stuff with ADP? I have an opportunity to do just two payrolls in December, the fourth quarter quarterlies, and the W-2. And I don't know what to bid it. I mean, I know I would charge them, but I'm just curious if anybody has this price sheet or.
They don't tell you.
Does anybody have a client that does it?
You have to have a rep and just ask for a quote.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if anybody has a client who's using ADP so they know what.
Oh, yeah. I have a. Are you asking for a rep? Do we know how?
No, I'm just trying to a rough idea what to charge, what ADP would charge them for that.
Oh, I just asked my rep. Yeah, I just asked
I
my
have
rep.
clients, but they're all different. Every client with ADP is really different. They're not. They do per client. There's different discounts. There's different.
Do you have a rep though, Sarah?
No, I won't send clients to ADP. I do payroll.
Oh, but you want a rep to be able to get the pricing. And then you're going to increase the pricing. Right?
No. They're moving to ADP January 1.
Okay.
I'm begging them not to go to ADP in the second week of December.
Oh, they couldn't wait 2 weeks?
ADP, the new accountant, this new bookkeeper says, I don't do payroll. We're going to ADP. And I'm like, with 2 payrolls left of the year.
Oh, I see. So how much you're going to price it out to do it. I see what you're asking. Okay.
Yeah, I was just curious because, they've already got all these quotes and everything. And I'm like, but actually I don't care because when I told them the hell it would take to put in September's quarter figures and October and November and 1 payroll of December, just to get 2 payrolls out, I said, just let me do payroll to the end of the year. Let me do the W-2.
So,
what are they using? Desktop payroll?
Sarah, I don't know if this helps, but I have a client who they use ADP, so I process it for them. There's 5 people on salary, so literally they could go on Gusto and be $20 a month plus whatever, right? It's automatic. It's the same every time. When ADP runs a regular payroll, it's $96 a payroll.
Okay.
And every quarter that they do a quarterly report, it's $196.
Holy crap. Okay.
And for the year-end reports, it's about $450. And that has nothing to do with transition fees or going back and capturing other quarters.
How did they get away with $450?
I will tell you though, there are some promotions because my rep just called me yesterday and said that any new clients that go on, they'll do their W-2s, their year-end forms, and give them 3 months for free.
But think about next year. So next year, what are they charging them? $30 a W-2?
I mean, it's very pricey. honestly, like it takes me 3 minutes to push a button and to
Right.
make sure that it's right to tie it out,
But
so
they're making all the money. You're not.
but you know what, it's the choice of the customer. I gave
That's
them
what I'm saying. I can't fight this. I mean, I
Yeah.
was just so happy that somebody overruled her and a board member came in and said, no, we're not doing that. We're going to stay with Sarah to the end of the year.
yeah, but that's what we pay, just five people who are on a salary that never changes.
Wow.
I just got an email that Square is now doing payroll.
What?
$25 a month.
Wow, do they make toast too? I'm sorry. Are we still recording?
Okay, yeah, we are. And Marianne has a question for Dennis.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Dennis, yeah, the question was, I know you use ITO or ProConnect Tax Online now it's called. Do you use Intuit Link with that?
I haven't been, and the reason being that I've got a portal where I have clients upload stuff, and I've just gotten a lot of them trained to use that, and I'm somewhat reluctant to hop on board with Intuit. They have a bad history of pulling support on products after you use it, so I don't really trust Intuit on some of these things because they tend to cancel them out if it's not.
Oh, I see.
And so I don't want to get dependent on Intuit. I may use it in a limited fashion, but my preference is to use my portal.
Okay, because I know Intuit Link does it, well, for you especially that you use ProConnect Tax Online, isn't there like a direct integration with Intuit Link and ProConnect, like where you can have them bring in the documents, and it's definitely more of like a seamless transition into like W-2s and those kind of forms?
Well, I've got a lot of older clients, and I'd say I'm kind of reluctant to try to, I've got them trained on using my portal.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Mariette, I've used it.
How do you like it or not like it?
Well, I tested it out for them. We fixed it. I think it's good, but I'm with Dennis. Like, okay, so I still use a portal, and that's where I capture my information. So I bring it down from there anyway, and then I put it into my portal. So I might as well use my portal. The nice thing is it kind of takes the checklist that you give your clients, and it sends them that along with a link and says, here, these are the documents we need. And then they can check it off. So that's like it's really beautiful that way.
And then how about what I liked about it, because I've been doing some research on it, is, especially with tax preparation, Dennis, that it's never the first checklist. There's always open items that we're waiting for. So it looked like it kind of keeps that whole kind of open items list going until they completely have provided you all the documents. Is that kind of how it works, where it just really keeps it like with that client versus having emails back and forth and having like separate uploads into your portal? Do you feel like that creates more of an efficient process?
Are you talking to me or?
Well, Jan, because I think you've been using it, right? Or you tried it out?
I have not tried it out. Like I say, I don't trust Intuit in terms. I've seen it too often in the past where, like for example, SmartVault was a good example when they had it integrated and then they pulled it, and SmartVault went out on its own. There's been other things where they've built stuff into the product and then they make a business decision that they're not going to use it, and all of a sudden you've kind of got dependent on it, and then what are you going to do?
But outside of that, Dennis, what do you think? Like, let's just say you trusted Intuit Link was going to be here for a while. Then how would you take this?
If I didn't have a portal, I might do it. But like I say, I prefer to not be overly dependent on one company.
Okay.
And you have your smart sheet.
Yeah, I already have but the thing is I still feel like with one client with those open items and checking on them and making sure that they provided me all those documents, it's still like 2 or 3 emails. And the way I'm kind of seeing Intuit Link, and I'm going to try it out with a few clients.
It does keep it open for you, Mariette.
It keeps it open, right?
Yeah.
And I like that part of it. And it gets me out of email because you're not emailing anymore. It's all in Intuit Link. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So
I guess maybe for new clients, you might consider doing it,
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for new clients. That's my goal this year, is to try it just with new clients, even though I'm going to have 2 different methods, and see if it does help me eliminate 2 or 3 emails. That's a lot of time, and trying to accomplish inbox zero all the time. It's hard, especially during tax season.
The one thing I'm thinking about is going with that e-signature. I haven't used that in the past, and I'm trying to get more, use that rather than have to upload stuff to have them fax stuff back into the 879. And
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you need to integrate e-signature for sure, Dennis. That's going to save so much time.
yeah. So
Are you
that's
talking the Intuit one or the actual e-signature?
the one that's with Intuit with the Protex.
Verify? Oh, Protex.
Yeah, that is.
Protex Connect or whatever they call it, Protex. So, I mean, I prefer ITO. I mean, it's just easier.
Yeah. So watch that because I think it's $10 a signature. So watch when they have a special and make sure you get the package deal.
Well, I know.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, I have to look at that. I mean, I know that, like for example, with Intuit Tax Online, that you get a discount if you buy in bulk, but they're giving away if you sign up for Intuit Tax or Pro Tax Connect or whatever they call it. Now, I guess you get the QBO advisor, and then you get the 30% discount. So I don't know who pays full price for the returns, but I like it. I mean, it's getting better, and each year they enhance it. And this year it's going more to like getting where you can actually see where the stuff's going in the forms, as opposed to trying to remember on the worksheets. And that's been kind of the thing I don't like about it, is that there's been times where I've actually had to call a chat and figure out, okay, why, their documentation's kind of all over the place. They get this, knowledge base, and so they could. That's where they need their improvement, I think, is to
absolutely
have a more comprehensive documentation.
Yeah,
I'm hoping with this new iteration, I guess it's going to come out this month of December, where you can actually, I guess, we could add more and more fields where you can so you can see the return and then trace it back to the input sheet.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and don't forget, as pro advisors, that you get one free business return, and it used to be 5 free 1040s, but this year maybe 2 or 3 free 1040s, and there should be a link in our pro advisor portal.
Well, I know in the past it was like 2 business returns and 5 1040s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a lot, I'll also just throw it in there. There's tons of webinars going on right now on how to use Pro Series, how to use Pro Connect Tax Online, what's new. Intuit's thrown out. I think they're going out like once a week for the next 2.5 months. So if you know of anyone that's new to it, they've got a huge series going on. And I was supposed to write a blog about it, but I've posted a lot on it on Facebook, the series that are going out. So yeah. Okay, guys, thank you.
It is nice because like I've got like 3 screens, and I can have maybe 2 or 3 different tax returns opened up on each, just kind of go back and forth with. I'm not limited by having to install the desktop on each computer. So that's nice.
That is a good part. Yeah.
And you can get the PDF on your cell phone, which is nice. So you can actually see the status of the return if it's been e-filed or whatever on the cell phone app.
Yeah, I see a lot of potential on Pro Connect Tax Online. I've kind of been married to Pro Series for like 4 years now, but I think eventually I will move, when I'm ready. It's just there's so many other things that are out there that I have to get into.
Yeah, I used Pro Series for about 5 or 6 years, and I always got the cheapest one, but it was like you had to install the updates, and more and more expensive. And
we got our Pro Series charge today, $4,106.
Holy crap!
Wow!
And that's with no states.
Why is that so expensive?
I used to pay that for write-up.
Yeah.
I use Break software and pay $1,200.
Wait, what do you mean that's what it costs, Deborah? I've been using it for almost 5 years, and I pay probably closer to like $2,500.
I mean, we got the bill today, actually, $4,106.
You must have network, Mariette?
I've never paid more than $2,000. Oh, you're on a network, Deborah?
No.
Okay.
Standalone. I mean, one computer.
I've never paid more than $2,000 for Pro Series.
Send me your invoice, because I'll call them up and get them to match the price.
Oh, no, I will. I'll send you my invoice. I'll send you a picture of it.
Do you have business returns, Mariette?
Oh, I pay for those per return, but she said no business return.
No state.
Oh,
we had the full federal.
Okay. I get state, I get federal, but I pay per business return.
That's what I did when I had Pro Series. I just paid per return.
That's the difference. Okay, that makes sense then.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys, we're going to end it here. See you all next week.
I won't be here next week.
Same place.